to the rest of the Vermont. They're still surviving. King Tiger's eating up some meaty shots. DevM, what's happening on the southeastern victory point there, Dan? We've got another battle there for victory point control. Every victory point matters right now. 39 remaining. DevM somehow, the Portuguese prodigy has somehow kept in this game despite Luvnest's superior play. He's somehow survived and he's still surviving.
He's playing out of his skin, to be honest, to be competing up against what's on the field right now. Still getting vehicle wipes. You know, there's a lot of fuel on. If he can just manage to hold it for a little bit longer, get his stuff reinforced, then you know there's every chance that he can continue, get the M10s on the field and make it good.
Playing for DevM right now.
Huh?
Is Barton playing for DevM? We checked profiles, didn't we?
Oh,
this is
yes.
eerily similar of a Barton game. This feels like we're now in the Barton zone. For those that don't know, a very famous Polish player that always makes late game comebacks despite the odds. And DevM seems to be somehow exhibiting Barton-like symptoms, which you probably should see his doctor about, quite frankly. But it's looking eerily similar to that kind of thing. He's somehow keeping hold of 2 victory points. His holy holds 39. And he still has a valid army. He has Vet 3 on all his surviving rifles, Vet 3 on his lieutenants. It's all about now rebuilding his tank army, using the M1s to keep the KT away, and he could clutch this from the fires of Hades and make a G2 comeback, one of his historic comebacks of all time.
God, he's spending a lot of munitions on these grenades right now. I personally would have thought that you know, having access to the 240mm was a great prevention for this King Tiger being in the center. By the way, but this has just been damaged, so he could rush in and try and get a snare off. In fact, Luvnest has still got the fatherland.
What's this STG squad doing? It's going to go around the wreckage of the house most likely. Oh god! This hero rifle is likely going down. He gets taken out by the pintle mounts of the King Tiger. However, squad wipe in return possibly. No first grenadier does get away. Howitz Sherman, how many kills has that baby got down? It's sitting pretty on 24
at the moment.
It doesn't matter right now because the M1's down and the Jagdpanzer is hunting. It's in its name and it's living up to it right now.
Yeah, this is looking like it might be a game-winning push. We're going to have Volks Grenadiers pushing. Will they clear up the Lieutenant? It would be another squad wipe. No, Lieutenant's going to get away. 80 gun is crude. Jagdpanzer 4 getting veterancy 2 now. The amount of damage has been given.
Lieutenant's going to have to play a big role down. He's going to have to go all the way around. He's going to have to find the Jagdpanzer. No, it doesn't. And the victory points are ticking down for right now. There are 2 against it.
Wow.
There you go.
He's going to go for the AT gun. Oh, it's giving him a squad wipe there.
Him. Absolutely massacring him. And there's STGs come into vision.
There's got to be, I mean, there really does have to be like an all or nothing push here.
It was insult to injury, and I think that was the death knell for DevM. As the M10 couldn't quite make it, he was seen to be repaired, he sees the King Tiger find it, and GT goes to the German Giants.
Oh, that was a really good game.
That was
a
fantastic.
Really good game. Yeah, well, one of the better games like we've seen today already is one of that, and just going back over it, like this, the attention to detail constantly from Luvnest, like he's mining down early, all those munitions being spent go into that, do you know what I mean? They go really, really into having those mines on the field. Even with the minesweeper there though, the minesweeper wasn't always at the front of the engagements, you know, he's like capping with the echelons and not really spotting those. Cost him the first M10 and it just kind of get worse and worse from there. But, you know, just very good preservation.
So we're going to have a quick 5-minute interval, 5 minutes only, to allow the players their 5-minute break. That is in the rules. These lights are very hot today, and these guys are getting very stressed, so we're going to have a quick intermission. Very quick, though. Most likely going to roll a montage, possibly open up a raffle in chat. The thing you're raffling up today, guys, if you've seen it on Kota.org's main page, the article will show you the poster you can win, an A3 size version signed by DevM, myself, Dan and Luvnest. You'll be able to raffle for one of those today, so exclamation mark raffle. Von Klug, if he's out there, he will be opening up this raffle very shortly. Yes, he's opening it up. So that's exclamation mark raffle to win a GCS poster.
He's opening up something.
It's usually probably a beer. But as we say, so we're going to very quickly show the amazingly created montage video that Dan made, and we'll be back very shortly, so do not go away.
push down. He's going in for the flanking push. Rakettenberg's in that centre pass, does not matter. M4C Sherman's going for the off-spin. The T70 is going to try and get rid of the Raketen. Here comes the Krautmo, the M5 half track with the quad mount. Everything's going wrong for Burmy very quickly.
3485 to the left, whilst all of the infantry was seemingly on the mid to right. Yaktig is going to try and get some shots off, and it does, actually connects again. Yeah, T-3476 doesn't. King Tiger easily going to be able to deal with the situation, and now he's going for the rear armor, trying to maybe block it in so the AT gun can also get some work. That looks like a successful block.
It's Panzer Fias coming in. The Sherman's in an ambush position. He's going to get that rear armor facing. SU-85 is about to go down. Tiger's getting done down by the Sherman though as the Stuka rains fire from above. What an armor confrontation. It looks likely that Aimstrong's come out highly on top here. All three vehicles down for Hooligan. Aimstrong reigning supreme through the centre.
They're going to try and get it. Havoc just doesn't know how to do this. The King Tiger's parked in the centre. There's no way round. He just has to take it from the front. Good counterplay from Tobestone. Gets the Faust on the T-3485. Here comes the Raketen. He's going to get a shot off. That's the penetration.
Yeah, bounce! The Ken effort, no problem with it. I get the Panther. Pershing goes down to Chan. Panther down. They're setting up there. Everything is blowing apart. Everything's going kaboom.
Is he? He shouldn't do. He really shouldn't do. Or should he?
He gets it! He gets
it with the Ziscon! Holy crap!
Oh.
to Battle Planner.
Hello everybody, we are back and pretty soon about to go into Game 3 of this series, a series which is currently dominated by Luvnest in a 2-0 situation. What a turnaround. Not sure anybody was expecting 2 wins at the start of this. Right now we do have, let me just check the Battle Planner, they're getting ready for their Game 3 right now. Change of map, it's going to be Crossing in the Woods.
Crossing in the Woods, which is a bit of a Luvnest speciality, but it's also a DevM speciality. a DevM speciality. Both these guys have had amazing games on this map. DevM with his notorious MG pushes, Luvnest with his great play where he spreads it with the support weapons. So in my mind, this is an ideal opportunity for DevM to get back into it. So I think it's time to get ready and play the game.
I think so too, and Crossing in the Woods, I mean, is widely regarded as one of the better sniper maps. It's actually regarded as an austere map. We've seen DevM strategies here before be brutal. Not sure if we'll get away with it today, but you know, in previous encounters, you know, we saw that MG42 straight up the map at the start of the game, locking down that that shed, that tiny little shed with a very fortunate window, and then we see the lockdown. It's very difficult to, you know, if you don't respond to it instantly, very difficult to get out. Might not see it today, but just so that you guys know, like, this is a classic map for these players. We've seen incredible games. You remember when Luvnest played Price? Do you ever remember that? Yeah, they don't. Do you remember when Luvnest played Price? And they were playing like sniper to sniper in on it? It was like some of the best sniper play like I think I'd ever seen in my life, because both of them like so good. Do you want me to?
Yeah, they're playing right now. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. No, I just thought you would cover it better.
No, I was like, I didn't know how to. You were so in your flow, and I was like, they're playing. I can see that they're playing in the corner of my eye.
That's the game.
What about the restraining order? You're not allowed within a foot, I said.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's We are about to go into this third game right now, and it's going to be, if you guys haven't checked the Battle Planner already, Soviets versus austere. Sniper to sniper, we hope. And do you know what? That first time in the previous game, we've got a while before it actually jumps into the start on that. The first time in that last game, we saw counter-attack tactics. Now, counter-attack, like, for Mother Russia was so strong. We saw it on the Penals. Like, Penals are good anyway, but then they can actually get the boost to run in close to get the high DPS. And especially when they're playing against austere, you know, you've got a model advantage, you've got just this power advantage, there's no upgrades. You know, it's just so good to close that in. And he was saving up those munitions so that when he actually hit that CP for Mother Russia, it was just used. It was just used, and it was brutal, and it denied resources. So I would expect maybe to see that again, but on a map like this, you just don't know, do you? Because it's a lot of choke points, there's a lot of, you know, you're not going to escape AT as easy with a KV-1 here. We could see Lend-Lease, but what are your thoughts on this?
With Crossing in the Woods, it's often about how you divide the map. It's how aggressive you want to be versus how much control you want to have. Because you can go for an aggressive push, but because it's such a wide map, that leaves one end open. So you often see a horizontal split go into a vertical split. So it's all about your early game build orders. With the SVT Penals and how Luvnest has been playing today, he's been playing so damn well. Sometimes the aggressive approach might be best. DevM, I think this is more on him now. It's more on how he takes it. If he can find those gears he's so capable of. We've got 10 seconds till live, by the way. We just had a bit of delay that we weren't expecting, but there we go.
Yes, typical observer delay coming in here, but we are about to go into this game. I'll let you do the introductions as we move in.
Oh, and there you go. You are looking at the German giant Luvnest. He is 2-0 up in this best of 7. First of 4 series, he's as the Soviets. And he's the north side of Crossing in the Woods.
That's right, map change for game 3, and he's going to be playing against DevM, who has really got to pull something out of the bag in this game, because 2-0 down in the series at the moment. And do you know what, I have to say, Luvnest has beaten some of DevM's best strategies. He's beaten his strategy. You know, we didn't know what the strategy was going to be. We didn't.
But I mean, for you, more than one strategy.
But come on, the armor company we saw in game 2, you know, like that he's even got his own face on that commander. It's like that is the one he can play.
That's his strategy, yeah, for US.
Totally. So
I'm not being disparaging towards DevM. I'm just saying that Luvnest hasn't beaten DevM's strategies, he's beaten DevM. He's overcome that aggressive, hyper-intensive, tactical play of DevM with the high APM all over the place. He's overcome that, and that is the impressive thing for me right now. It wasn't due to any strategic power play by Luvnest, it was about the play itself.
Grenadier squad is ready.
Well, we'll see if he can pull it off again. I think on the talk of strategy, whether you're still calling it strategy or not, I mean, I think, you know, like, DevM has to be a lot more careful here. One thing that Luvnest has been doing is kind of traps and tricks. I think that's actually how we could possibly define what we've seen from him, traps and tricks. We had demos from the Soviets, we had Mines playing as OKW, and it was defensive. Like the units that we saw, the vehicles that we saw, you know, Jagdpanzer IV going into King Tiger, it was just like a take and hold with very, very good defense. So hopefully that's what needs to be broken here. I think that's the key to this. And if anyone's going to be able to do it, it's going to be DevM with the kind of...
We all know, Dan, that traps and tricks are great. But in order to put them down, you need to have map control. So it's more of a punishment mechanism. We're starting to sound a little bit shady right now, but it's more of a punishment mechanism to punish somebody that's lost map control. And Luvnest's able to lay them down, these booby traps, all over the place and cause problems for DevM of the future on the rebound. So DevM now has got to be ultra aggressive. But where's the MG? We so often see the MG from him, and he's gone again with the sniper.
He has, yeah. I think he may have just... this is a sniper map. This is a very good map for snipers. And if you are the kind of person that can get away with playing sniper early, you do enjoy a very, very good early game of manpower draining, which can really help you tech up in this game if you are just bleeding your opponent. You know, with these units very, very well. But of course, both players are going to go for this, and it creates this weird stalemate. We saw it in the game earlier. We saw it Von Ivan and Hans did the same thing. We've seen it from these guys, and you know, it kind of just stunts. It stunts any of them being able to get away with it. But this is a really nice push from DevM on the right here. This time he's not pulling any punches. He's got his fuel on the left-hand side. He's got some engineers there to give vision for when when Luvnest is going to cross, and he's just holding the map much better this time.
Again. Gotta be careful. These SVT rifles, so damn good at plinking away at that sniper.
I'm so surprised he's retreating them as late as he is, because you can tell he's watching that unit, you can tell he's clicking it around, but just waiting for it to take health damage before hitting that retreat button. But double fuel potentially going to come in here for DevM. How is he going to tech this?
There we go, we've got the good capping from Luvnest versus the capping worker unit of DevM. Very interesting situation. They're both just minding their own business and taking pot shots at each other whilst they do it. And here comes the vision to spoil the party and ruin the parity.
Green cover here was wired off by Luvnest earlier on, so DevM's not going to be able to enjoy cover there with the Grenadiers. Still manages to push off the engineers. The sniper would have come up anyway to have helped close that engagement, but DevM's got to be really, really careful. Any decent push from Luvnest through the center could be the end of days for that sniper. And we got to see, we saw it last,
yes,
we saw it in one of the other games.
I'm so waiting for it, because at the moment DevM is being a brutal commander. He's making the sharpshooter of the Wehrmacht army drag himself around with one arm, barely fire the trigger, blood pouring all over his face. He really needs healing, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, it was the obvious choice there. He doesn't have any vetted units in the Grens to use the medical supplies, so he's not going to be able to do it that way. He needs that sniper, though. He needs to be getting the veterancy up on that so he can make that play with the incendiary shot that's going to be able to take Luvnest down at 360 manpower. But, you know, regardless of what happens here, I think he's going to come into teching so much quicker, and I think that will turn this game, because Soviets can really, really struggle with the early Oster tech.
Here we go, MP40s, newly buffed versus the SVTs there. We've also got another engagement with the two-man Grens getting away. Satchel laid. So there you go, that Pioneer squad just beats a penal squad, Dan. That's what they can do at close combat situations.
Yeah, he's playing the engagements well.
What's this Grenadier doing? Well, playing that very well.
Hanging around.
This hero Pioneer doing good work there. Then we cut to the Grenadier. It's all going on. DevM's putting up another sterling defence of his territories, and he currently holds 2 victory points, and he hasn't lost a single one as of yet.
You see the sniper trying to get healed there. Might go in for some shots against the penal battalions that are trying to decap through the centre. It's not going to make so much of a difference though, because I kind of feel like the priority right now should be resources on the map for Luvnest, and DevM is controlling the map very, very well here. We've got Grenadiers potentially coming up on the flank. Luvnest has spotted that immediately. Well, I say that, maybe he would have hit the retreat, but he's going to go try and stealth into cover. That hasn't worked, and the Grenadiers may get some shots off here. Have to retreat because of the penal battalions, but they tried to stand still to get higher accuracy on.
But look at DevM's... oh god, that sniper's really careful. Oh, Demo goes off and kills the Grenadier there! That's one Grenadier down. DevM's down to 3. Still got the Pioneer. The sniper's still alive. However, Luvnest with the 90 munitions kill.
DevM does have the minesweepers. Again, this has happened every single game. Like, he's had the minesweepers, they just haven't been in the areas they've needed to be. Very, very unfortunate, really. But you know, it could have picked off bigger targets. It was quite fortunate that it only dealt with one of the Grenadiers.
Grenadiers get behind cover. Possible rifle raid coming up, but I'm sure Luvnest will mitigate it. Elsewhere, they've got Car 98 rifles gunning for this sniper team. What's happened in the south there? Nothing as of yet. We've got multiple engagements going on. These guys are the best players in Company Heroes 2 today, and they're in a grand final. This is game 3. We've got Luvnest 2-0 up against DevM. The winner walks away today with £1,400, a trophy, and a lot of pride, respect, honour and prestige.
Attempting to steal
Another
our
pitched
sector.
engagement. SVT's this time beaten out thanks to the marauding Grenadiers of DevM. You might take one away from him, you'll rebuild it, and he'll use the 3 he's currently got to cause all kinds of problems. He knows there might be a demo here. He's playing aggressive. This is the DevM of days gone by, and there you go. That was DevM thinking there was a demo there. Did you see that, Dan? He retreated despite not needing to retreat, because he thought, hang on, there's going to be a demo here, and there wasn't. So that is, what is that you call it, Dan?
I think you call that a bluff.
I thought you called it psychological mind meta. Well,
I'm trying to avoid the phrase for you. I put a lot of effort into avoiding it so that you don't have to pull me up on it constantly. But it is, of course, that psychological warfare. It's got to be ingrained into him at the moment that everywhere he moves against the Soviets, there could be some kind of mine or demo that is just going to eat away at his manpower. So he's got to be careful. He's got to be traveling with the minesweepers. Surprised that he isn't at the moment. But he's still playing very, very well at this point. Luvnest seems to be getting back onto his feet, reconnecting the fuel with the engineers here, locking down the right side. It's looking to be a good game. And Soviets always start slow, so we were going to kind of expect this. But we're going to wait for, we really do need to keep our eyes on the snipers, because at one point during this game, we're going to have a very definitive engagement between them.
Look at DevM. Look at DevM. He's not going for G43s on his Grenadiers. He's keeping his options open to possibly go mobile defence should he need it. We all know DevM, when on the back foot, likes to rely on those call-in vehicles for mobile defence. So he's now putting LMGs on his Grenadiers because he doesn't want to go for a commander pick quite yet.
I'm surprised he went for that, because there was an engineer on the fuel point. He didn't know if they'd planted demos or not. He went for it anyway. So maybe not quite as careful as we predicted before.
Here we go, Grenadiers getting cocky in the centre. Elsewhere in the west, looks like Luvnest expanding. There's no mines or demos on this path, so DevM's going to trade one victory point for another. And this game is so even, Dan.
It is, yeah. It's just swinging in the other direction. I've got to say, this is a great pressure play from Luvnest, because he's splitting the Axis forces. He's using the sniper very, very well. And he's just making it very, very difficult for DevM to go anywhere on the map. Every time he does, he pushes through and decaps. It's beautiful. But again, we're getting a switch again. Now it's DevM is about to turn.
There wasn't a demo there the first time. This time he chances it. He's having to be aggressive. DevM also, we just saw on screen, building tier 3. He's got a nice bank of fuel. So he's in a very strong position. No commander picks of yet. I'd love to see the betting in Twitch chat for what they reckon is going to happen. But the main thing on the battlefield right now is one P-word, parity. Both players are playing this in a very even-keeled situation. And we've got tier 3 coming up to further exemplify my point in the northern sector of Luvnest's territories. The base. So we've got tier 3 coming up in unison. We've got nice switching of the map. What's going to happen next? Anything, basically.
It's a difficult. I think whatever comes out of this tier for Luvnest could be a little bit decided, because we do get a weird matchup between like a T-70 and a Panzer IV, which could happen. You know, we might see some interesting plays where DevM could definitely take advantage. But if we see something like an SU-76 in the air zone with the snipers for sight, then we could see a reverse. You know, we could even see that it was the SU-76 and Soviets that remain in power through these engagements. So I think the teching that comes in here is very important. We're seeing it's T-70 currently, and I don't know if I think this is the best idea, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know. But this could play badly, depending on what DevM decides to bring.
Look at these Grenadiers. Will they try a helping hand style rifle nade on retreat? No, he's not, James. Nice control from DevM, finally being wielded back into Luvnest's hands on the east there. Also on the western fuel point, you can see Luvnest capping on the tac map. It's all going down. This Grenadier's in a pretty decent situation, to be honest. It's only Mosin and Gant rifle on one of those two combat engineers.
It is going to be that T-70 Panzer IV engagement.
Who wins that one?
Well, with the right micro, to be honest, you never know. But
yes, indeed.
This, yeah. Am I seeing mine detected? Oh, okay, we've got tripwires down, of course. So interesting that tripwires are the ones going down here.
This is a community production today, brought to you by ourselves and our lovely backers here today, and it's from ESL. And one thing Luvnest made famous at ESL was tripwire flares. He used them to the point where people were just sick of having things die. It was great. He won many tournaments with them, so we're seeing them here today.
Well, they had to completely redesign what it did.
Yes, they had to patch the game because of Luvnest. Almost a Von Ivan-esque patch there.
Right, here's that sign of the Panzer IV. Of course, T-70 is already filled. Too late to cancel that tech, but it can still be used very, very well. T-70 can still be used. It's going to be much more mobile than this Panzer IV, but the Panzer IV is easily the better choice as a holding unit. Now, it may even force Luvnest to bring out an SU-76 to kind of get some kind of AT on the field, because at the moment there's just nothing. At the moment he'd just been relying on maybe mines. There's good protection for the sniper. It's a very difficult one. The T-70, I don't see it finding great. It's maybe Caster's Curse. I don't see it finding great.
Build orders to possibly combat the Panzer IV. We notice DevM has made excellent use of what was that, a firework to celebrate gapping the fuel point? But he's made excellent use of his APM and micro here to get back into this whilst the T-70 is on the back foot. And here comes the Panzer IV. Fear it.
I am still a little bit worried. One thing that really worries me is that the minesweepers, they're just not in these engagements. You've got 3 Grenadiers here that are actually pushing territory without knowing if there's anything there or not. And that kind of worries me. It's a good opportunity for Luvnest to sink those units with, you know, munitions demo charges. It's a very, very tough one if you're going to be pushing with the Grenadiers. He's leaving himself very open. SU-76, I had a feeling this was going to be called in. It's just because he doesn't have access to Tier 2 to build the AT gun. He needs something that's going to be able to long-range counter this Panzer IV. He's got too much time effectiveness on the field if he's going to build up to Tier 4. So it's a sensible decision for him to have this. T-70 SU-76 invasion can be really, really good. So let's see how he uses that.
Grenadier's got some good capping work done. DevM's like a spider, he's all over the place. He's got arachnid-like arms and a Panzer IV. So rude-like points is almost cutting down a penal battalion. There you go, the possibility of a steam satchel pushes it away. What's that? DevM's just got a second sniper. Does this guy think it's coming here as one? Does he think it's 2011? He's got a double Wehrmacht sniper team on the field.
I don't rate that as a bad idea. I mean, he's probably not going to know it right now, but Luvnest, you know, on the resource front, he does not want to be having to constantly reinforce units right now. And that's what the double snipers are really going to do. They're going to hurt those penal battalions so much, maybe even be able to pick off the snipers, Soviet snipers, without even using the incendiary if they get lucky. But it's a lot of strain on Luvnest if these snipers do get to work.
T-70, the demo there as well, but there we go, finally somebody against Luvnest using minesweepers, but it might be, he might have actually explained that, just
praying that the AI doesn't take over. Yeah, that was good. That was good to see that, you know, in game 3 we finally have.
Oh god, here we go, we got a little platoon, mechanized armor regiment for DevM almost. It's got the 2 Grenadiers coming into focus with the Panzerfear. Nice detachment from the Third Reich there with the all coming into focus and pushing away the T-70, allowing a triple cap to come down, Dan.
Yep, it's going to be a triple cap. Also, the resources just not looking good. Luvnest may be able to decap left VP again. Why? Use the minesweepers. It makes me on edge really because they're hit. You know, it's not like he's already swept this area. Get those units doing something, but he leaves himself open to so much.
You got the penal battalion behind heavy cover, duking it out with the Panzerfear. These guys are fearless. They are the Stravniki. They have one mission, and that is to die or somehow get back into the regular army, but they're doing a good job of the former rather than the latter right now.
Do you know, I love to see games like this, where actually there's players fighting on 3 different fronts right now. This is really where the game gets interesting, because there's going to be so much to keep track of. It's not just a bunch of units in one place. We're looking at micro all across the board right now. We're looking at units being very, very daring, going up against what they see, multiple engineers on the field, could be demos anywhere. You know, he's not going to be able to keep track of all of these instances where he could be caught off guard. And it makes for very, very interesting gameplay. In terms of loadout at the moment, again, like it's been brutal, but it looks like DevM still has the larger army on the field. Very, very fortunate double fuel at the start of this game has allowed him to get that Panzer IV out in great time. It's a really good decision just because, you know, he's just been able to dominate the field with it and go really mobile. Oh, we see another Panzer IV in the build for DevM. And snipers here on the retreat, Ping Battalion going in for the flank. Very
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Panzer IV charging up the center, trying to deal with the penal battalions, decapping the VP. Luvnest has to get on top of the VPs right now. He was under a triple cap, which is taking his counter down substantially. But that is something he's going to have to focus on whilst dealing with a vastly superior armor front from his opponent. DevM is playing lightning more as well. He's stacking up the munitions. He's going to come up to 12 CP and be able to use the Ju-87s. If he goes in with the Panzer IVs, I haven't seen too many mines. Ju-87s will put intense pressure on the T-70. It could be an amazing play, and pretty much the essence of the lightning war, blitzkrieg in fact. But will we see it? Oh, snipers out in the open. Will Luvnest take this opportunity? Has to hit the one with veterancy really, so it doesn't get the incendiary counter. There it goes. Is he going to stay in this engagement? Is he going to stay in for the second sniper? He does, he gets it! Picks up Vet 3 on that and is going to get away with it. Beautiful, beautiful play there. DevM was not looking at that engagement. M4C Sherman on the field from Luvnest. Lendley's taken. Is he going to be able to use Su-76 with the M4C Sherman to try and push DevM away? This is really one of those units that can change the tide of the game. Hasn't been able to utilize it at its 10 CP mark. Be well on the elevation here. Currently having a look at match stats at the moment. Luvnest 48 kills to 105 losses. It's been a brutal game for him. Absolutely brutal. Lost so much, and he's been trying to fight on 3 different fronts. Trying to get any VP he can at the moment. He's testing all the sides, but he's never really committed to one of them. He's been trying to get 3 off of DevM at any point, all the time. Now we're seeing the VP being capped on the left side by engineers. Will he plant any more of those demos? He may as well. There is a second mine, well, there is a second squad of pioneers in the field. Hasn't been upgraded to the mine super yet, but probably will, just to negate any potential. You guys will have to just excuse whilst currently solo casting this, watching at the beautiful scenes going on around me right now. Watching as Luvnest somehow manages to turn this triple cap drain into a reverse. you want to cast with me? Tell me how it's going. Yes. Yeah, just for everybody who's watching at the moment, we do have a little bit of a technical issue that is currently going on. It's being looked into and resolved. It looks at this point as though DevM has stopped playing for whichever reason. You have to find out. But it might be a time to go to our favourite scene for today. That is, of course, the technical standby scene. We'll be back very shortly with what I assume is going to be Game 3.5, the Grand Championship Series.